Hello, everybody. Anyway,
But
but butts.
Left ones, right ones.
Balls, I think, is what you're looking for. That's the word.
oh,
That's
Well,
I
you
through
could
the
have
ravine.
you could have left and right of those two. Uh, but hello, everybody. Welcome to the Red Heron. I am your innkeeper, Logan Hanley, here with my wonderful friends to tell you a tale in the lands of Ecriom. Before we get started with our adventure tonight, we're going to quickly go around the horn. Everybody introducing themselves and who they're playing, and then we'll do a quick recap and get the show on the road. Starting with Eden.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Taryn, also known as Valric Requests and Socials, and in chat, and tonight I am playing Eden of the Briar, who is not worried. You are.
Jay.
A second.
Yeah, I know.
Blasphemy.
Listen. I have to do weird things for. It makes sense in
For
my head.
for money,
Why
that
I
makes
really.
sense.
What? No. I mean,
But
yes.
anyway, hey, yeah. It's Jaden King. I am Corvus Noctifer Wormhaven, the lovable, apparently not but winged individual. I just need to emphasize my wings and my butts are separate entities
False.
entirely. But I'm just here to see how many ice sculptors I can break. Oh, Dahima, your turn.
Yeah,
hello
yes.
everyone. I'm Utahime, and I'm playing everyone's lovable Seafling Peace Domain cleric, Fanar Valar, who hopefully can bring her brother back to life, Evanescence style. All right, passing it along to one of the crushes down below.
Whoa! Now it's not, that's scandalous, right there.
Well,
That's scandalous. You said one of the. Damn.
mhm.
I'm crushing on all of our cast members. Okay,
Damn.
It's not a
You know
ship
what?
anymore,
Big
it's a
mood.
yacht.
Big mood.
we said
So-
Pellicule.
Anyway, I'm Lizzie Donahue. Tonight I will be playing Oak, your big, beefy, slightly dumb, very adorable, half-orc paladin, and she's finally maybe going to be able to save her sister. What could go wrong? Okay, our special guest.
Yeah. Last but not least.
My name is Megan. I do nerdy art and shit, and then I play D&D sometimes. I'm Taryn's sibling. Ooh. Yeah, I'm playing Fenrith tonight.
All right. Well, where last we left off, the five of you, Eden, Art, Corvus, Fenara, and Oak, journeyed through the graying once more in an attempt to reach the Winter Court. Arriving there successfully, you met with some intergalactic penguins who could not fly. Canonically, could not fly physically.
But they were talking about flying.
But they were talking about flying in space. Yes. But met with some intergalactic penguins. Learned of a giant penguin that had came through. Briefly interacting with them, and then heading off on its way. You followed that creature's path before noticing that the waddle of the penguin's feet gradually gave way to boots. Human-sized boots, or humanoid-sized boots. Following those, you see signs of a brief scuffle before you find the entrance of a cave. The path and the disturbed snow leading in that direction. Upon entering the cave, Corvus spots a large orc on the other side of a fire. And before he could really do anything or assess the situation, uncoiling from the ceiling two Remoras descend upon the party. After quickly dispatching them and sealing up any other points of access that creatures like this could have in the icy cave, Oak took a second to heal the orc, who she knew as her mentor, Owlbear. He briefly told the party of why he was there. He was attempting to get to the palace of the Queen of Winter. Unfortunately, both exhausted and having been through a series of fights in order to get to where he was currently, and seeing Oak with friends attempting to do the same thing he was, he decided to head back, or in the morning, to head back to Ecriom and to lead his people in the war to come. Where we pick up, we've just settled down for a quick rest. Now, where we left off, we were kind of indecisive about whether or not we wanted a long or short rest. I'll leave that up to you whether or not you guys want one over the other. Go for it.
Are we determining this? This is so we're kind of taking a step back to determine what our rest is.
Yes. So yeah, you guys can either take a short rest or a long rest. Because when we last talked, like as we were getting ready to call it, you guys were still on the fence between the two.
Corvus would just have, I think, 3 questions to confirm some things. A, those creatures we fought, did they seem wild or tamed? Was the first question.
To Corvus, they seemed wild.
Okay. Second, would Corvus have enough understanding to know that by entering the area of snow that they're already aware of our presence, kind of thing? Like, I know it kind of happened in the Autumn Core with the Bones guy, but I'm trying to determine if that's a normal occurrence or if he was just spying.
I had jokes.
It's reasonable to assume that if one Archfey was able to identify you as you entered his domain, that another Archfey would be able to identify you, yeah.
And the last detail is, does it seem like there were any other tracks that would denote like guard patrol or other creatures beyond the holes that were in the wall?
Leading up to here, and even like taking a minute to go back out and like look in the direction in which you would be heading, you don't see any tracks that would lead you to believe that there are people that come this way.
So Corvus will be inclined to allow a long rest, but prefers a short. But that's because Corvus only needs 30 minutes to exist.
Eden would basically at some point through this convey, like, I mean, my strongest strongs are gone, but that's only like 2 of them, and I can do a bunch of other abilities still.
Yeah, I use my strongest stuff, but I am at full health. So I could go either way, I think.
Tanara?
Oh, I thought we were just going ahead after a short rest. Are we not?
No, this probably makes sense, because otherwise I think Corvus looks like they're getting butt sores or something. You just look really antsy sitting there.
It's
Squirmy.
Oh, well, I mean, some older people get bed sores. There's nothing to be ashamed of.
Is Corvus old?
Well, I don't think so, but I'm just saying that it happens to other people. Bed sores are not bad. I mean, they can go away. They sometimes leave a scar. So we might want to treat that. I might have a bulb for that, though.
I mean, you have to be in bed for quite a while to get bed sores. I don't think
I know. This is new.
Corvus, do you need butt balm?
Corvus does not respond nor acknowledge.
Okay. So Anyway, we should probably have a game plan uh that isn't the same as owl bears of just fight them if we're going in on a short rest without our strongest stuff. That's my thought.
Oh, I put on that bracelet. That was the other note. I put on the hide my origins bracelet.
You did that before you even entered, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're good.
I just forgot that.
Wait. Come close. Come here. All right. I need all of you guys to hold hands.
That's a lot.
Just because you know what I usually do. We need to be connected.
Corvus.
You feel the refresh, fresh breeze wash over you. There is now that bond between you three. So not necessarily me. But you might want to remember that this bond is up for reasons.
What does it do?
Well, I mean, not only do you guys have the D4 for attack rolls, ability checks, and saving throws, but also 2, protective bond is in effect. So basically, if someone is about to take damage and you're within 30 feet of them, you can actually use your reaction to teleport and take the damage instead.
And confirm it's for the damage, not for like swapping during attacks.
This is you use your reaction to teleport to unoccupied space within 5 feet of the creature, and basically you take all of the damage instead. That is the wording.
As long as they're within 30 feet?
Like, as long as the people that you're connected to, which is Eden, Oak, and yourself. Yeah.
Perfect.
And then we should get going.
All right.
And we start walking.
So we're not taking the short rest either?
No, we took the short.
No, you take a short rest.
Okay.
So anything you get from a short rest, yeah.
So if we're doing the short rest, Dungeon Master, my request to reach out to my we'll call her my aunt, if we will.
Yeah. So describe to me how you would go about this.
During the short rest, in a meditative state, I have not learned, but I've done it, I think, a number of times to try to reach out towards the astral plane for Bahamut's side. And knowing that these penguins have the ability to reach there somehow, my goal is to send my key to find that same source of energy to reach the astral, and instead reach towards my paternal bond, since there was a ritual done with him, to see if I can reach through his connection to find her.
Go ahead and roll me a D100, please.
All right. Umbra Oculus, I don't roll you often, so do
Yeah,
not mess me up on
That's
this.
probably for the best, you know.
Maybe not. I don't know. They might be offended.
Okay.
What'd you get?
89?
All right.
I don't know if high or low is better. So, like, this sounds great or terrible.
So I rolled on my end a D100, and in my head you had to meet or beat what I rolled.
Mm-hmm.
I rolled a 77. So as you're sitting here, the cold begins to kind of sink into your skin. You feel yourself freeze up for a second. The air in your lungs just kind of hold. And you can feel, instead of the wind coming in from the cave entrance, you can feel as if something's breathing on your neck. This just very, like, almost huffing, but cold breath just over your neck, your shoulders, and down the front of your chest.
I'm gonna roll wisdom just see if I can maintain composure. I feel like that's fair. An 18? Okay, cool. I feel like I could still maintain a semblance of composure, and kind of, I would like to turn and face that breath if possible.
Okay. As you turn, behind you is mostly darkness at this point, except for what you can see are two like ice blue eyes, a long snout, white as ivory, scales across the maw, and giant teeth, and just the mouth ever so slightly open as it's breathing, of this giant white dragon head where the neck extends into the darkness.
I have come in the hopes to find not answers, but to beseech your power from my ends.
The head kind of cocks to the side, recoils slightly, and as it recoils, it's now joined, you can see, to its right by this dual-horned, kind of thinner snout, black scales across the front, the eyes a piercing green. To the left, you can see the head of a blue dragon, and the head of a green dragon. And as they begin to circle you, from above, staring down, slowly getting closer and closer, you can see the head of this massive red dragon. Eyes like a roiling fire. What do you have to offer that you have not already given?
My future and my mission.
My husband will not like this. Whatever
That does not-
favor he has given you will be gone the second this connection is over.
I am not quite sure he'd be willing to sever so quickly. To do so would to admit he chose incorrectly, to lose favor in Deepwell and further.
Well, did he not when he chose your father?
He did not choose my father. My father, unfortunately, inherited through chance. I, however, was chosen to break that.
Why ask from both of us?
Wrongs have been made. Through the justice he seeks, I want to correct what has been done. But in the same chaos you brew, I wish to break the chains that others have forced upon us. In freedom, chaos thrives.
Roll a persuasion check for me. I'll say with advantage.
Uh-huh. We're gonna stick to not. Yeah, I'm miraculous. I'm watching you. With advantage, it's there's a 17 on the die. I have a plus nothing. That is 17.
17. The head
Nothing to
gets ever closer to the point where the front of the snout, which is about twice your height, is just ever so slightly in front of your whole torso. We shall see if your words will match your actions in whatever chaos you are planning to sow. But be warned, I am not like my husband. You betray me, you will start as nothing. And you will be pulled the very bowels of hell.
I'm gonna roll. Corvus will smirk.
So be it. And the head just fucking eats you. Swallows you whole, and in that darkness you awake from your meditation.
Hey, Corvus, does this stuff smell bad? As Eden just holds, like, the cauldron in front of Corvus's face.
Corvus has this, like, I wouldn't say scared look, but there's definitely this like 1,000-yard stare. You could see as you get like being close enough, despite it being cold, I feel like Corvus is sweating still. And is like, you're putting it, he cannot see it. It's one of those like,
Oh, well, the smell of very pungent, overly done pumpkin spice, like that really fake, ultra concentrated smell is like right in your face. Slowly recoils.
Are we are okay. We are still in the Feywild, and like is clenching and dragging. Like I feel like is scraping the ground quite dense.
Corvus, are you nervous about?
No,
I
I
know
am.
you've hated being in the Feywild.
The Prince of Frost isn't supposed to be that scary.
I think Oak, unable to have a poker face, is just like, that was not what I've gathered. Just like, huh?
I am just...
Relatively. Like,
the Feywild is harder to attune to. Things are more chaotic.
Hmm?
I am fine.
pours the liquid into 3 vials, and it is this soupy, kind of off-brown liquid. And will then hand one to Corvus, one to Oak, and one to Finara. Okay, this one, if I'm correct, should probably... You know how sometimes I turn into animals and stuff?
Mm-hmm.
For meta reasons, you can turn into a CR1 beast with no swim or fly speed for a minute.
So don't drink this right now.
No, this is when you want to use it, and then think of the animal that you're wanting to turn into, and then poof, for like a minute. Anyways.
You said any beast without a fly or swim speed.
With the CR1.
CR1, thank you.
That was the...
You think I could be an orc?
They can... Well, on land they will not swim or fly. This is true.
Wait, but
I mean,
orcs are people. They're not beasts.
No, orc guys, like the whales.
Oh, I was gonna say that's a little bit of like self-hatred right there. I'm glad. I was concerned. Okay, that's good to know. Okay, my heart just gets a little bit in a bad
Packs
way.
everything up. Like, straps the cauldron back at the hip. Okay.
Well, okay, but we didn't talk about our plan. What do we have to offer?
Well, I have this bracelet that I'm currently wearing that I could offer up. It, hides your ancestry, your origin, or whatever, your fate alignment from other courts. That could be very valuable. I also have very deep, important information on Liren and the whereabouts of gateways and things and plans. So if the Prince of Frost is trying to gain leverage and power in the courts, if this is mutually beneficial, then maybe I can gain power as well and lean towards my goal. Maybe Prince of Frost is like, look, you're an archfey now. And I'm like, oh, cool. You can have this information. Right? That's how that works? No? Okay. But anyways.
Sounds like a big dream. Okay, so objectives. Ask for a cure for my sister.
Yes.
Try and make contact with the Queen of the Unseelie Court to ask for a secret.
No, not to ask for her secret, because remember, there was something about they collect. Oh no, that was your sister. Shit. Because they collect the soul thingies or whatever, and that was the Prince of Frost has those, so that was your sister. Yeah, we do need to figure. Maybe the Prince of Frost just happens to have some insight on the tea. Like maybe there's like gossip they know, and maybe then we don't have to talk to the person whose name you're not supposed to say out loud.
Yeah, we could definitely hope that.
But I think first is making cordial, polite contact,
Right.
Corvus, and offering something to trade.
Right. Guess worst case I
Corvus.
could give up this. She holds the like axe.
But it's so cool.
I know. But I guess that's what would make it a good trade item, right?
But these people will be more concerned with power and leverage than just fancy items necessarily. Like I'm just saying, like it is from my understanding of talking with Dolus, it's all about stature and power and domain. Like it's a political game.
Think they'll be able to help with my brother, the situation? Like if we gave information about Lord of Bones or something?
Maybe it's worth a shot.
All right, well,
Let's go and hope we don't meet anybody too mean,
yeah.
or else we'll have to kick them.
Well, we don't have to kick them.
Fine, we'll throw
Let's
snow.
try sort of friendship or temporary friendship or something.
Snowball fighting.
Well, that's not too bad. Well, no, sometimes I heard that if there's too much water or something, or ice gets mixed with the snowball, it can hurt real bad.
Wow, where'd you hear about snowball fights?
I feel like we're walking.
Yeah.
No, we have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
We're just talking about this out loud as we're going, because we're not stealthing, apparently. We're just walking, talking about snowball fights.
You know, at the one library when I was trying to look for different things and you know.
As you will quickly, I thought you guys were still in the cave. I apologize.
No.
So no, you're fine. We're gonna rewind back because Owlbear was still in the cave with you guys.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
And so as you guys go to leave the cave and begin on this journey, Owlbear will just kind of walk up beside you, Oak. Stands a little bit taller than you do and just places a hand on your shoulder, and you've grown quite a lot.
I feel like I have, but it means a lot to hear you say that.
Just remember why you are here.
Of course. How could I forget?
He pulls you in for a hug. And you hear just the very low whisper. Be careful of those two. And as he lets go, his eyes drift toward Corvus and Eden.
That's the face Oak's making. She's like,
I was gonna say, I was like, what?
Well, what's he supposed to say? Be careful of art? Come on.
I know, Art and Fenara. Wait, I was like, is that going to be the twist? Is that we are the secret, like, people who will bring down Ecriom?
Fenara's secretly
Oak will
an assassin.
Oak will be like, no, I'm not gonna say that. It's like, don't worry. You told me about the birds and the bees. I know what to do.
That's what you say to him?
I do not say that.
Okay, good.
No, say it.
But I thought about it really hard. But Oak's gonna give him this like, oh, what are you talking about face? It's like those guys.
I don't trust her connection with this place.
make that face. You were talking to Tiamat. Sorry.
Well, I don't know that.
Several
Like,
five-headed
I
dragons.
was like, I understand that you just met them, but we've traveled a lot. I trust them. And I hope you'll trust my judgment.
I do.
I'll be at your side soon.
He lifts up his head, and you see for a minute his nostrils just flare like big, and he takes a deep breath in. Somebody is close.
Do you say that loud enough for everyone to hear?
No, he says it loud enough. He just says it. He's still just kind of in confidence talking with you.
What kind of somebody?
I don't know.
Right, okay.
Smell of pine. But it's
Gosh, that
veiled.
could be anybody around here.
It's cloaked. He takes like a... It's cold. It's hard to get a good grasp. And then he just kind of looks at you again and says, "Be careful." And turns back in. You watch as his body turns into a giant penguin yet again. And he just kind of waddles away.
And he waddles away. Waddle, waddle, waddle. Okay, I go over to the rest of the group. Hey, Owlbear smelled somebody getting close. So, yeah. Unclear, friend or foe. Someone sounds like they're probably from around here, though.
Okay.
And just for my own knowledge, I know he was speaking to Oak in confidence. Does my passive perception hear it anyway?
Wait, you have observant, don't you?
I do.
So you could read lips.
I can. With a passive 26.
Would you be okay? Here's my question. From where you just came from, would you be dialed in on this interaction? Would this be an interaction that like you dialed in on?
I wouldn't dial in on a specific interaction. I would be wary of the cave itself, so I wouldn't be like 100% hyper focused on Owlbear and their conversation. But so it's mostly to see if I would get anything specifically. The fact that he mentions me. Or even us, kind of thing.
I'll say you hear the word, like you can read the words "be careful," and he kind of makes like a head and shoulder not like move as you guys are like you are all preparing to leave in the direction of you and Eden.
Okay. So following that, if we're told that like there might be somebody nearby, can I find them, if not sense them?
Are we alerted to this? Like, I know
Yeah,
that
I went up and as soon as he disappeared,
okay.
I went.
Then I'm going to... Eden will just, like, turn to look at Corvus, and I'm going to wild shape into basically a giant bird moth. Yeah, it's a giant pink bird moth. Just brace your... It's a giant moth, but I have a beak somehow and talons. Just let that soak into your face. But there is a giant pink antennaed moth thing.
All right.
Mm-hmm. And I'm on the ceiling.
Okay.
Is Fanara able to just do the normal thing instead of transforming and just take a look at the surroundings, even if you're getting close to the, like peering and taking a look around?
Yeah. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
All right.
Can I also make a perception check?
Yeah, sure. Corvus, if you'd like to as well, you may.
And don't forget to add those D4, you guys.
Eden, you can too.
23.
Okay.
That is a 24 for me.
That is a 21 of my keen giant eagle moth sight.
That is a 30.
That sounds
Why do
about
you
right.
bother to roll
Yeah,
it?
right. I'll say this, Eden, as you cling to the roof, the ceiling of the cave, you notice like where the lip of the entrance of the cave is. It almost looks like a clump of snow falls from the top of the cave and comes across the front, but it doesn't fall straight down. It almost like it curves and then it stays on the ceiling. And what you see is the rest of you kind of notice it above you, but then you also hear the slight crunching of feet and snow coming from up the ridge, and like up above the mouth of the cave. But you see above you these two almost like just like pale blue colored humanoids, super, super tiny, clinging to the ceiling and just kind of ever so slightly like pulling themselves, crawling, and like they'll stop and then keep moving.
Are these the Smurfs?
These little no, so like they're more of like ice color would be the best way to put it. You can see on their backs they're wearing what look to be like hides and like these white furs and hides. From their backs you can see protruding these very similar translucent like frost blue, like frigid blue colored wings extending from
Frosty
the back
Smurfs.
as they like climb for a second and then they like
Moth Eden will like lock eyes with them
yeah
and do
these
like the
things are
head twist.
these things are like half your size or like a quarter of your size.
Because I am large beast.
Yeah, these things are a quarter of your size. Like these things are
Yeah.
tiny.
So Eden's wings
Hello?
flare out. We are
Hello
looking.
there. Hello.
As the wings flare out, you say hello. One just goes, "We've been made," and they both detach from the ceiling, and then you just hear this thrumming as they shoot out the front of the cave.
Oh no, you didn't have. We're not. Oh.
I'm gonna go catch one.
I was about to say Eden
All right,
will
so
will
Corvus,
fly.
Eden, you go flying as you dart out of the cave chasing these. Speed wise, you guys will be about the same, but for story of it, as you go darting out, following these things that are now just like making it like a straight line out and then like slightly curving up toward the direction of where the palace is. Thynrith, perched atop the edge of this cave, waiting for your two scouts to go and check out what's going on. You see both of your fairy companions just booking it, flying as fast as they can, and within seconds of them making it back out of the cave, you see descending upon them this giant eagle-sized moth with these like needle-like appendages at the ends of their legs, and this giant beak just ready to snatch them up, followed by this quick like just flash of looks to be some sort of like silver-colored metal, as these two individuals go darting after your friends. What would you like to do?
That's the face of I'm looking at my abilities and I'm going to attack my sister.
Listen, if I had to choose one of the two, it'd probably be the scary fucking moth thing. Let's be honest. Like that
Yeah.
thing just sounds.
It does awful.
Unnatural.
I don't really want to attack, so I'm just gonna use message. How far are they from me right now?
They're within range. I'd say this all happens like within like it's all happening simultaneously. So as they're all like just like shooting out of the entrance of the cave, you'd be able to snag whoever you want.
I just want to use a message and be like, you guys should really stop, or I can't promise we won't have to hurt you.
Um,
Who are you sending that to?
That to Eden,
Okay, to the giant moth. All right.
I think.
yeah, so in that situation, Moth will like barrel roll over, turn back, and be like, it is now looking in the direction of like, where the fuck did that come from? Because that is in my head.
I would say turning full around, using your perception check from earlier. Theinrith, what does Eden see, or who does Eden see?
Yeah, you'll just see. I'm like, she's kind of just average height. She's just a little. She's an Eladrin, so she's covered in like icicles and different things. She has really long, like not super well taken care of hair. Her skin is a very, very pale blue, and her hair is very, very white. And all of the armor she's wearing is just messy and gross and covered in ice and dirt. And yeah, you can tell she's probably been out here for a while, like scouting, doing random stuff.
Just as like staring. Yeah, we are bloofing in the wind. And there's like this really weird chirping, clicking sound that's coming from the moth that unless you can speak bird talk, basically, you don't know what Eden is saying, but Eden's talking to you.
Corvus doesn't stop because Corvus was not reached to, so Corvus is still gunning for at least one of them.
Okay.
I'll say Oak has started. If they bolt out, Oak's chasing as well.
All right. You continue to make chase. I'd say being significantly slower than your monk and giant eagle thing friend. You get to the mouth of the cave right around the time as Eden is turning around and kind of flaring her wings. Fanara, anything for you?
I believe that Fanara was kind of in a way like trying to head out to try to like because she felt bad.
Yeah.
She didn't mean to scare the little people. And she's sort of a little person too, so she's like, oh no. So she's trying to follow, but she's not like chasing because she feels like that's already like bad to scare them further. So she's probably trying to like through the it's still snowy, icy.
Yep.
Right
yeah.
now.
It's not snowing, but there's plenty of snow on the ground. Yes.
Yeah. So she's probably still trying to with her little body trying to make her way out there and trudging along.
All right.
I'm sorry, we didn't mean to scare you. And like looking around to see where they went.
Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say before like Corvus gets too far away, the moment Eden sees somebody standing over the fucking mouth of the cave where our friends are coming out, Eden will telepathically tell Corvus, "There's some person standing over the mouth of the cave, but they're not listening to what I'm saying." Anyways,
do I see what do I see when I get out?
Does telepathic work that way?
I can speak with and somebody that I can see, which I saw it. Like I would have like.
Do they know what you're
look
saying?
at.
Oh, you'd be able to can communicate what you're saying. Cool. Okay. Corvus, I'd say you'd be able to catch up to one of them. What are you trying to do?
I was trying to catch up, and then Eden told me
your hand's just about to like at the point where you could touch the one in front of you.
And you said they're small?
Yeah, they're fairies. So they're
I'm just gonna snatch one by the nape of its neck is my goal, and come back with. That's my entire goal.
Make an athletic check for me.
And I'm specifically unleashing my astral arms to make a point.
Ass arms.
Whatever.
Astral.
Oh, can I not? Oh, I have to roll it individually. Okay, we'll just do it that way. And I add my wisdom. Oh, terrible rolls. That is going to be +3, +8, 14.
14. The first thing you notice is as your astral arms come out, normally you have two. They come out normal above the shoulder, right?
Always.
As you're standing there, you feel something different, something kind of like a slight shift or like movement. And from your midsection, 2 more arms come out from underneath. And then the last one you feel, like at the base of your neck, where your neck meets your shoulders, you can see this coming, just hanging right up over the top, a 5th arm.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
And as you reach, and as they reach and try to grab this creature, it just does a quick little like tilt and turns around and does like a quick little barrel roll out of the way and then darts straight up into the air.
Since my arms have done this, I did not expect this, but I'm gonna lean into it. Technically, I get 2 attacks per action, and I would like to use an attack for my second.
I'll let you, like, as the first set of arms is coming in to try to grab, I'll let you secondhand. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, because those arms means I would expect it to be a little more violent on accident. It's a bad roll, though, so it's only an 11.
An 11. You swat out, and it barrel rolls to the left. And so you try to swat out with your left hands now. And it must just be you're just not used to having the extra kind of like, it's not a weight, but it's like a weird, like it's just something new. And it throws you a little bit off kilter. Even your this central hand trying to reach up and grab as it's shooting up into the sky now. But it just continues to evade your grasp.
Yeah, and then I'll just use, I would, annoyed, will then just try to return back after the telepathy.
All right.
With a lot of arms running back.
I was gonna
Corvus,
say,
why do you have more arms now? What the heck?
I'm gonna roll.
I was depending on how long they were, like he was gone. Like, I don't know what Finn and Oak are doing as.
Yeah, I mean, he's not far. He's not more than maybe like 30 feet from you guys.
Okay.
Yeah, this is all happening within essentially like a round and a half.
Yeah,
But yeah, so
I got mad movement speed.
And so as you guys are coming out, you see Eden staring back up at what looks to be the top of the cave. Looking up, you can see this unkempt Eladrin individual. Just kind of perched at the top.
Hello. I don't know if those were your friends or not. We didn't mean to scare them. I'm sorry.
Chirp, chirp.
That's fine. Why are you chasing them?
Chirp.
Oh, I wasn't chasing anyone. I was trying to introduce myself. I'm Fanara. Nice to meet you, person.
Nice.
Hopefully you come in peace.
I believe I do. Do you?
Chirp.
These are my friends. I'm sorry. The one that looks kind of scary and is like all moth thing. That's my friend Eden, and then the other person is also my friend Corvus, and then I have my other friend inside Oak.
Chirp. Like flutter down next to Finn.
Yes. We're on something of a diplomatic mission. My name is Oak. I'm from Kabul, the jungles of Kabul. And, well, my sister was struck by a piece of ice which put her in a coma. And we are hoping that you might be able to help us come up with a solution to that problem. We think that this is a shard of ice, and a never melting shard of ice that originated somewhere in this realm.
Insight check. From these people.
You can roll.
I...
So you can roll persuasion or deception, whichever you choose. You don't have to tell which one you're using.
You're speaking
that's
to the
very-
good one.
I'm also
What
gonna
did you
roll
say?
just to get help something.
What'd you say?
I got a 23.
Damn it, I got a dirty 20.
Do I need to roll as well?
I don't think so. No, I think you're good, Finara.
Is that persuasion for convincing that we come in peace?
Oh, I guess you could roll as well. Yeah, go ahead and roll. Go ahead and roll a persuasion if you want to, Finara.
Corvus does not look like he comes in peace.
Clearly.
Eden is chirping.
Ironically, Bernard got a 12, but I think it's because of the fact that she's not exactly sure if her friends may have had ill intent. So she's just like looking and darting her eyes a little bit too much.
Scary
Whereas I
moth.
was telling exactly what we're doing here.
So yeah, I'd say the blue one seems a little confused, but the half work that you're speaking to, or that you're currently speaking to, is being pretty forthright and honest with you.
You had questions about ice, so you came here and brought this group of yours?
We were told that this ice was related to the Winter Court. That's what our information has, and I did not. It didn't feel like a journey that was safe to make by myself, which is true because we did have one friend die along the way in the Autumn Court. So.
Well, not necessarily. That is something that we're also working on. That person was my brother. So let's just say we have some issues with sibling, their health conditions at the moment.
That's one way of putting it.
So
Chirp,
to
chirp.
speak.
Well, I'm sorry for the confusing status of your brother.
Thank you. Thank you.
Of course. So, who told you this ice was from the Winter Court?
Oh, that would be the elves in Minthfabel.
Okay. So, what is it you want?
I want my sister to come out of a coma.
No, of
No.
course. I just mean, are you seeking an audience with anyone, or?
Yes, we are.
Chirp.
Okay, out of character,
Look over
just to
it
verify
and-
that
and
I'm
have her
remembering
hand
this
on her
right.
sickle.
Um,
Hearing that one, then she's gonna have her hand on her sickle while she's talking about his.
we were told that it was the Prince of Frost who collects these, right?
Mm-hmm.
You were told
Yeah.
that the Prince of Frost collects these. Yes.
Yeah. We were told the Prince of Frost collects these shards of ice. So he might know their properties and possibly how to save somebody.
Okay. I'm going to warn you, it's not exactly easy to get an audience with him. And he can be a bit fickle. Are you
That makes sense. Would you have any tips?
maybe don't chase anyone from here or run up or flap at me. Just gonna kind of look at Eden. Or run up with multiple sets of arms and, maybe just be a little bit more calm.
Sorry, I think after a run-in in the Autumn Court, we're all very on edge. My apologies for my friend's aggression.
Eden will kind of sit kind of rear up in an awkward way a little bit and looking over at Oak and is like chirping and clearly does not agree with this, that we were aggressive.
Oak is not casting Speak with Animals because she is saving that spell slot.
It is just obvious that Eden is in disagreement. There's a little bit of a head bob.
Corvus is stuck in aggro mode, but is refraining from moving. Like, very specifically is in, like, pounce position, but not moving. Just
All right.
very still.
Or perhaps what I think my moth friend is trying to say is our perceived aggression.
There's like a head nod and a chirp.
Mhm.
In
Can I
tennis forward.
I'm gonna kind of hold the sickle a little tighter. All right.
Can we ask your name?
My name is Steinrith.
It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you. I take it. It's nice to meet you, I think. And I'm gonna kind of eye the one that's still like pounced and ready.
Corvus
I
just
want
gives a
to
half
follow your
nod.
gaze. Corvus, seriously, where'd you get all those arms?
Corvus has a very
Telepathically.
like I can only describe it as a feral face, but is like frozen feral. Doesn't respond beyond that.
Just what is it, Jack Nicholson? Like
Stuck in there. Just
telepathically, Thynrith will hear. Yes, my name is Eden, and I just don't. I use this ability, and I can only use it so much. So if I unuse this ability, then it's wasted, and this place is really draining of resources.
I will speak to you. So does this mean you are like a druid or some sort?
That's a very good call. It's like you're just getting this telepathically,
Wait, are they both speaking telepathically where we
Yeah.
can't hear?
looking at each other like.
Thynrith, the name Eden also mentally pings you, as it's a name that Hale used frequently.
Would you happen to know Hale?
Eden will poof out of moth form. Yeah, have you seen him? How do you know Hale?
I was one of his students a while back.
Oh, that means that Hale got to teach people. People trusted Hale. It's like
Corvus
Eden is
immediately
kind of
calms
like
down.
is like happy.
So you were
Cor-
the Eden you spoke of.
Probably was it good? I hope it was good.
It's good.
Okay. But that also means that Hale is alive. Do you have the little stony thingy? We can tell Hale we made one of his students.
Corvus is like still recoiling from like the arms retract and there's like definitely a shortness of breath. Yes.
Also, what do you mean war student? Did you like finish? Or are you like super powerful now? Did Hale die because he's really old?
No, he wasn't that old.
It doesn't look like it sometimes.
Oh, no. There was an incident at the school. This strange plant overtook one of our buildings and I went up and interacted with it and was grabbed by a force I could not see and have been brought here.
Eden will just be like,
That's the last I saw of them, so I don't know if they're okay or not, but I'm here, so I know I am.
we should really check on those places for sure.
How long have you been back? Was that a while ago, or?
It's been a few weeks.
That's a long time.
So what do you mean these places? To what are you referring?
The plant thing where because Hale was like, there's this plant that's growing, or whatever. It's doing weird stuff.
Why are they like looking at each other like this? Should we be
Oh,
concerned? about it?
Eden is depooped. Eden is now saying this out loud.
I'm also saying this out loud, I'm sorry.
Yes. Eden is saying all of this out loud now. Well, yeah, because there was a plant that just randomly started growing. As Eden will start to like look down, just start to growing outside that tower, and then that was before we knew that Hale was gonna like stay there though. And then Eden will trail off like a little bit, just kind of.
Is that all? that's all there is to say about it, I suppose.
Yep, weird plant started growing in a couple of places.
Insight check.
Yeah, go ahead.
That sneaky sense of guts. That's a 19.
Ooh. Well, my charisma is a -1. That's a 3.
That seems right.
No matter how you shake it. I'm hiding something. Like,
I'm like, did you use the
there's
D4?
like a guilt. Oh wait, yeah, I'll use the D4 for that. Wait for it. 4.
Hey, good roll.
Yeah, no, it looked like there's like guilt and like definitely not saying something.
I will put my hood on and kind of like hold on to my weapon a little bit tighter. um, um, is that really all you have to say?
Well, there's a lot to say. It just depends on what you want to talk about.
Okay. Perhaps what we were just talking about?
Plants? I could talk a long time about plants.
What do you want?
I want to make sure that I'm not going to let you in and you have ill intentions.
Oh, I have no ill intentions.
I
From
do.
you. Well, that's because Corvus is grouchy all the time.
I'm not
To-
gonna lie.
what are your, we don't have ill intentions. We want to help Oak's sister. That's not ill intentions.
He just doesn't like being in the Feywild very much.
It's kind of like when somebody's really hungry. You know, people get grouchy. Anyway, no, we have no ill intent. We want to seek an audience so that we can hopefully find a cure. We do not come with explicit aggression or anything else. There is no plan to assault anybody, just only defend ourselves if necessary.
If you are to lie about other things, how do I know you're not lying right now?
I'm not lying about other things. I left things out.
I
Mhm.
tend to not lie. You can ask me.
So lying by omission.
I'm not lying. I mean, I could tell you. Just feel bad.
Okay. Does Corvus still have all of the arms out right now?
The arms have no. I specifically he calmed
Sunk
down
back
when you mentioned
into the
hail.
boat.
So
Okay, I was
they,
like, that's-
yeah, the arms have fizzled, and he is now very normal.
Okay, you seem to speak very bluntly. You have no ill intentions here, correct?
Ill intentions, no. I do plan to fight whoever's willing to let me.
Corvus.
I said whoever's
Oak
willing
sounds
to let
unusually
me.
stern.
You will just kind of like stand up and kind of in surprise, like, okay, all right. At least you're honest, I suppose.
I don't
Very.
feel like I have a face of a liar, neither does Oak. So why couldn't you believe when we said that we had no ill intentions?
I do believe both of you. You both seem to be very kind individuals.
Okay, you just mentioned that Corvus was blunt, but I feel like we've been honest as well. Just saying.
Sorry, but I was so cute. I tried to be
Charm check, go.
Third crush activate.
so squishy. I love her. Okay, sorry. Uh, no, that was
She
not.
is small, like so you do notice that compared to the rest of the crew,
She's
The
like
size of the
5'2".
goblin.
yeah, she's like basically 5'2". She lies and tries to act like she's 5'3", but she's really small and like slim. So she's you know
Right. Yeah,
her
I guess with
hair is
everybody
blended in. I
talking
guess
right
with
now.
the icy setting.
Well, that was not to say that either of you are dishonest, but this one seems to have no problem speaking what's on their minds. So
Yes, and we're talking too much, so I'd rather us move forward.
And
Fine.
someone of a few words. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, that's Corvus. He is a real manly man. Just talks with his fists if he can, but
All
What
right.
can we say that will make you let us go forward or trust us or whatever?
You know, honestly, I don't think there's much you could say, and I'll just kind of start walking away, like towards the castle. And I was like, "Are you coming? Come
And
on!"
like Corvus
Oh,
immediately starts to follow, and then we'll be like, "You never answered my question."
Which
Do we need to climb the cliff face to get up to where
I know.
Heinrich
No,
was?
no, there's a snowbank. There's a snowbank a little bit like there's two banks of snow on either side, and then like a slight like indent where the cave is.
what was
Just
your
like almost like a canyon, so you're able to climb out
All
from the
right.
snow. Yeah.
Oh, there's a raid.
Hey, what are friends?
This is Heinrich. I inquired, what is it that you want?
As far as what?
In general, you judge a lot on what a person seeks to accomplish in life.
I judge based on what you are here for. It's not often we have people just wandering in our caves and chasing after our people. It's not often.
Interesting. Are you loyal to the Frost or loyal to the Crown?
I guess we're still trying to figure that out, right? I don't know. My expeditions with that group recently did a lot for me. They were good people.
I think we'll get along. And then turns his head towards the path and has no intention to speak further.
Good, that works for Cyrus. She'll just keep walking too.
Oh God, there's two of them.
Wait, this Fanara noticed the tattered clothing and stuff on Finrith.
Oh yeah.
If you need help, it seems like maybe I don't know what kind of tussling you've been into recently. Some of these things look a little bit tattered. I can probably fix some of those for you if you like, as like a thank you for taking us.
What's wrong with my clothes now? They're gonna be completely ruined.
Well, I mean, this piece looks like it's only hanging on by like maybe like four threads.
Is that not enough?
I mean, if you want to stay warm out here, I'd say you need to like make sure that the tatters aren't so tattering. Or I don't know. I can fix it.
Pattering?
I'm sorry, I'm not making much sense. I'm just saying that it's almost in pieces, and you need layers to stay warm.
Okay, how exactly would you fix it? Just kind of.
Oh, 1 second. She's going to be casting mending on different parts of the fabric. Just kind of like gently. It's like almost like you feel like there's like this almost like a warmer breeze, kind of like breeze out of nowhere, where it's just like as she's kind of gliding her hands across the tattered pieces of your clothing, the layers. You're kind of like feeling a warmth, but it feels like almost like the smell of like ocean as this is happening. And anyone will see that it seems like all of the different seams are kind of like closing up together, almost like with this bright kind of light blue, almost like threading that's happening as it's going across each of the layers. And she's just doing this. She's like following you, but she's like also too like it's like, sorry, I hope you don't mind.
You're very kind. Why would you offer to do that? For just because?
Well, I just told you that you're taking us in the direction that we need to go in order to help Oak's sister and get some answers, and hopefully maybe they have some answers that can help my brother's situation. So why wouldn't I help you?
I don't know. Just not used to that. I appreciate that.
No problem at all.
Would you mind if I asked about your brother's situation? You said it was complicated and
Yeah, well, he had a run-in with the Lord of Bones. You know anything about him?
very little.
Yeah, well, there was a big fight with the Lord of Bones, and unfortunately, my brother didn't make it out unscathed, as you would say. So he's kind of like in a stasis. Like, he's not totally dead, but at the same time, he's not amongst the living at the moment.
Well, what's really happening is his corpse is being preserved so it doesn't decay further, but Finn, I hate to say this, he is really dead.
I'd like to consider it a stasis.
Whatever it takes to make her at peace right now is okay. This is, regardless of how we look at it, it's not a permanent state. Is, I think, the key factor.
Right. That's true. We struck a deal. If we get the right information, the Lord of Bones will give his body back, and then
He'll be able to come back to us.
What is this deal that you struck?
So the Lord of Bones had a friend, somebody he cared about deeply. Apparently, it was somebody in the summer court, and that's really all he remembers. But that this person was warm, that he basically was his heart, and that he disappeared around the time that he became the Lord of Bones. And he wants to find out what happened to that person. Or basically any leads.
Pretty much. That's it.
And again, we were pointed in this direction.
Well, it sounds like your journey is going to be difficult then. You
Like,
don't have a go off of. And if you're looking for somebody warm, this isn't exactly the place to be.
well, we were told that a very important someone probably could have information or would know, but that there might be people in the court that had a lot of information that would be willing to trade information for things.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, then, I hope you can find what you're looking for here.
Can I insight check?
Sure. While you're doing that, Thynrith, can you roll a history check for me?
Yeah.
That's a 23 on Thynrith.
And then
Because
so a history check for me, and then either a persuasion or deception. You don't have to tell me which.
Well, let me tell you what I'm looking for here. Eden is about to start her political campaign. So,
I got a 29, but a nat 20 on the persuasion or deception.
what I'm trying to get a vibe for, legitimately, is does Thynrith seem like they're enjoying the shoebox? Are they enjoying the label of being in the Winter Court? We're starting our political campaign. We have to find the people that maybe feel a little uncomfortable having to reside in one court, okay? But I rolled a 23, so
I got a 29, nat 20.
yeah, so
I'm gonna say either way, she seems like she's pretty happy here. Like, she's still there may be obviously you noticed a bit of hesitation earlier when she talked about like, Hale and everybody, but she seems pretty happy. Like she's pretty resigned to her job. She enjoys it.
which I mean, couldn't tell anyways, deceptive ass. Anyways, that's all I needed. Also expressing my intent as Eden meta level. We're starting our political campaign for the Grey. Hashtag Eden for president.
Your history.
And then I needed to make a history check.
History check, please.
Okay. Where's my history? That's a 15.
15. You would know that the Queen of Winter has a particularly bright gem that she wears as a necklace. It shines almost like the sun. But it's a very similar, and by gem I mean one of the many ice shards that are within the palace.
Okay. She will keep that information to herself. Did you know any more of this individual that the Lord of Bones is looking for, besides the one?
That he definitely did not sound like Perrin.
No, but
That's the name of her brother.
yes,
Oh,
that's
good.
my brother. But apparently our other friend Art reminded Lord of Bones of this individual, and yeah,
When
that
said
kind of
Art.
is what started everything.
Yeah, this adorable little butterball.
Hi, I'm right here. It's not his
Oh.
accent, but
If we're walking, Eden's gonna be holding Art's hand. Like Eden's not letting Art out of sight again. He's on the either
I
on
feel like
the floral chain or is being held on.
he's got one of the flower chains on.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Never again.
Why is that individual?
It's a little goblin that's just like got a big old blue trench coat and a bunch of pockets. And then it looks like he's like kitty. What do you call it? Leashed, right?
Yeah.
With a bunch of vines.
That's a strange kink. Okay, and I'm just gonna.
No, correction. So basically, Art tends to like get distracted and wander off.
Also, the snow is very deep in some places, so
Yeah,
he's very short.
Pulls Art out of snow.
As he steps and goes full body in. Yeah.
It's for his protection.
Of course it is. Of course. I'm just gonna be completely unconvinced.
We'll say throughout these conversations, you continue to progress closer and closer to the palace. This massive, almost crystalline but ice-like structure on the horizon. As you get closer, you can slowly see the little bit of illusion that there is there. Because while the snow gives you this kind of flat-like horizon, you eventually get to the point where there's a drop-off of about 500 or 600 feet. You see a singular bridge that spans across this chasm to the palace, to the gates of this palace. The walls, at least at this point, from what you can tell, are probably about 50 or so feet high. Spires of ice and like almost like igloo-like snow at some of the base portions of the like smaller buildings that you can see, or like outcropping buildings. You can see a central dome in the center that looks like some sort of cathedral or like hall. Thynrith, you would know that if you guys are looking at it directionally, you'd be looking at it from like, you would be at the south. You would know that on the western cliff face, there's a inlaid set of stairs that go down to the base of the chasm, and then you'd be able to cut through and go up through there.
I will just work to lead them that way.
All right. As you do, Eden and Corvus and Finara, the three of you see on the horizon, not quite back the way you came, but like almost like fanned out, surrounding the chasm, these kind of semi-hunched over humanoid like creatures wearing what look to be patchwork furs and hides. That is until one of them kind of turns their head, and you can see where the head is a big mane of fur, and then as it turns, you can see two wolf-like ears and a long snout emerge from it.
Mm-mm. Eden stops and like is now squatting in the snow.
Eden, what's wrong?
Why?
Why have you stopped?
Those are wolf thingies.
Huh? Cries in
Oh.
low passive perception.
Oh, okay. If
If
I
she-
remember
yeah,
correctly,
if she points
Eden
it out,
has
yeah.
a issue with wolves, correct?
Right? She's
Mhm.
scared of wolves.
Yeah,
Wolves,
that's what I was like.
werewolves.
I was like, Fanar would know this. Oh, so, our friend here has an issue with that particular species. Basically, wolves are very scary. To
My
her.
sister used to chase me as a wolf and tried to eat me.
And how
Yeah,
far are
it's
these?
traumatizing.
Maybe about. With your more trained eye, I'd say probably about 200, 300 feet out. Like they're
Are
far.
they mean?
They're
But
far.
Okay.
what is their
I'm
intention?
gonna
Like,
scoop up Eden and be like, it's okay. It's okay.
It's
I
not
Let's
love
just
okay.
keep
that.
going.
I love the idea of now you're cradling Eden, who has the leash
That's art.
connected to art.
And it's just dangling like
Getting drugged
He's just being
in his
dragged.
little
It's just-
penguin suit.
I'm guessing they're like there to like they're what are the
So,
is their like what would I
fine.
know with them?
Yeah, you would know that the Queen of Winter employs some of the Timbermaw, which are the werewolves that exclusively live in the Winter Court. These are some of the most skilled trackers and hunters in all of the Fey courts, and are also have a reputation for being the most savage of their werewolf lineage, at least here in the Fey realm.
Eden is silent, crying as they continue to approach.
No, they're not. They're not quite approaching. Like you, all you saw was like they're fanned out almost in like pack-like search
Okay.
pattern, but it
That's
doesn't look
fine.
like they're. It doesn't look like they're necessarily looking toward you. They're more looking. They're more like scouting and just keeping a general eye.
Okay, as long as they're in eyesight, Eden is silent, crying.
No, don't. They're just doing their job. I promise. They are not going to harm you as long as you do not try anything stupid.
it's gonna be okay. We're here with you, Eden.
Roll at this. Well, you didn't know this, so I'm not gonna. No, you're good. I'm just gonna let that comment be.
It's okay, Eden. Look,
Snot bubble.
Oh god.
the picture instantly freezes.
Can I like observe them? Would I notice if they're in any sort of like hostile attack, like hostile state or anything, or?
So that's the cool thing about the Timbermaw. They're always hostile. Like there's not they don't have a chill mode. Like they're always at 10. And you would know your comment that you gave them was true. If you mean no ill will toward the queen, they will give you passage. However, that's for members of the Winter Court, and the Winter Court only. They don't really give a shit about any of the other courts, including the Autumn Court.
Just clarifying, you said as long as you're not trying to like mess with the queen. Like, do you mean in the idea of it, or do they actually know if you have intent against the queen? Just for. Okay.
How close are we? Are we walking closer to where they are now?
No, so you guys are kind of if this crevasse that circles the palace, it's not a perfect circle, right? But if you guys are kind of following that ridge to get to this staircase, they are off about 200-300 feet farther from you. They're not making their way closer to the crevasse at all. They're just
And
on
how
they're almost
extreme-
on the horizon.
I'm just curious. Is Eden in that state? Would Fanar know if Eden is basically not going to move from this spot? If basically there's a certain intervention that needs to happen that maybe Fanara can help with.
Oak already started carrying Eden, but yeah, no, otherwise Eden was going to be in hide mode. So you can tell Eden is just like, I'm assuming at this point now her face is like half frozen. We're
Okay,
just sitting
so-
there.
okay.
a second snot bubble, so it's just like
Okay, I wasn't sure if you were just like trying to slink away or like kind of trying
No.
to wiggle away from
We're
Oak.
being
Okay.
no, we're just
All
like
right. I just want to make sure
big
there's
beefy
things that can be
protector.
done, but I just want to make sure that that's not necessary.
no,
All right.
we're just a frozen snot baby right now.
All right, well,
Super
let's just
evil.
keep moving for now. Just kind of
Looks at snot.
weary of that one, concerned and confused.
As we do that, I know they can't see it. I rolled. Corvus is going to not make an audible snarl, but will make like a snarl, like a come at me, towards them.
okay, cool.
They're
because
ominously threatening him, and he's like annoyed.
but the best part is they're not even like homie has his back, like the one that you guys saw, like the one that indicated that these are werewolves, had its back to you and just like kind of turned its head, and like that's how you were able to see this. Like they're not even looking in your direction, but as you just kind of go, you just hear as one lifts up its head and lets out this like loud howl, which is immediately picked up by the one, like the couple that are in the immediate vicinity, and then you hear farther, like following the edge, maybe like you can't see where, but you could hear it coming from the direction in which we're walking as well. A response.
Okay, I'm not sure what happened, but they may not be happy you're here or something, so I'm probably fine, but I'm not sure about you guys, and I'm just gonna keep walking.
All right.
And now they can't sneak up on us.
Yeah, Eden just continues to sob.
They didn't intend to sneak up on us. What do you mean? What is that in response to?
Corvus continues following.
And as you reach the stairs and begin your descent, or as you get closer to the stairs that will bring you to the descent, to bring you into the palace, that's where we're going to go on a quick, like, 10-minute break. All right.
Okay.
Get everybody freaking murdered.
We'll be
know.
back.
I'm like, oh
Welcome
no.
to playing with Corvus.
Yeah.
Welcome.
Yeah, we'll be back in
I
about
was trying
5
to
to 10
calm one
minutes.
person. I should have calmed that person down. Jeez Louise.
Yeah. We'll be back in a couple minutes, folks. Yeah, you do your thing, we'll do ours. Bye. Ooh, welcome back, friends. All right. So, as you continue following this cliff face on the outskirts of the Winter Queen's palace, up ahead, you can see in the direction that Theinrith is leading you, this very narrow, maybe one person wide staircase begin to start descending down. And as you like are making that curve and can kind of see the curvature of the staircase going down, you can see it just kind of winds and twists, and it just kind of has this steady downgrade until it reaches the floor of the crevasse. As you're making your way closer, Corvus, give me a perception check.
Ugh. That's a 22. Oh, wait. I get that a D4 on all checks, right? Is that the...
Mm-hmm.
That is a 23.
A 23. You begin to see slightly closer than the other group was, but in the distance, maybe about 150 feet away, these shapes just kind of almost squat-like. They're not as big. That's the first thing you notice. They're not as big as the ones, at least standing, as the ones that you saw, the timber maw that you saw earlier. But in terms of like broad, like everything else, like proportionally, their shoulders are the same size, their hair are the same size, but it looks almost as if they are sitting or squatting in the snow.
But otherwise, I guess, non-hostile appearing?
From what you can see, yeah. Not quite sure if they've noticed you yet. Is what I would say.
But I also know that Heinrich is the one leading us, and I don't see Heinrich reacting, so I'm not going to immediately draw attention towards it, but I'm keeping a fixed eye.
Okay. Theinrith, you lead them to the stairs. You would know that these don't get very, very much use anymore. It's a secret that few know. And as you all kind of look at these stairs that you will have to take several hundred feet down, the first thing you see on the first couple sets are just ice coating the top of these.
I do apologize. These don't get much use. Try to be as quiet and everything as you can, just in case the Timbermore aren't as receptive to you. Just try not to draw too much attention.
Question. Why are we using the stairs and not that big bridge?
This way is much quieter and just better, I promise.
Insight check.
I love how much we obviously trust Feinrith and vice versa.
Yes. Well,
It's
it's
11.
only
So much trust.
5 for... So.
I was gonna say, do I genuinely know why we're taking the stairs instead? Like, this is...
I would say yeah. Yeah.
It's safer.
I mean, what you said. So, what you said wasn't wrong. I'll say that.
Okay.
Yeah. If that helps you decide whether or not, was that helping you decide what you were going to roll, or?
C.
Okay.
So I'm just gonna kind of persuade you, like, no, this is the right way, and that is a 25.
Right, okay. I believe you wholeheartedly.
Like, fine, I promise. Just come on.
Do we still hear wolfy sounds?
Are you fucking kidding me? Is now the time that you really wanted to do that? Umbral Oculus die? You fucking...
Sounds like you're talking to a puppy.
Your mother beseeches you, children. Help me.
Yeah, it was a natural 20. I'll say with that, as you like raise your head and like can kind of see the mounds, as you raise your head from Oak's gentle kind of cradling, you swear one of those mounds shifted and moved. The snow fell off like the shoulders ever so slightly.
Ian, you think you can walk? I'm not sure if it's safe for me to carry you down these stairs.
Yeah, that's fine. Actually, hang on. I'm trying to decide what I'm doing. This is gonna be stupid. Just brace yourself. Okay. This is really stupid.
No, Fanara pulls you into pulls you down to her, forehead to forehead. There's a glow from her necklace. Just focus.
Well,
You can do this.
we
And
can. And then
You feel
there's
a wave. I already did it. You feel the wave over your body, and it's just like the most calming, like almost as if you were in like a pool of water, and you were just basically just laying there, like almost just floating in like just a peaceful, serene setting with the sun shining upon your face. calm emotions, god dang it. But guess what? All of a sudden, there's a wave of that same serenity that washes over anyone that's within that beautiful 20-foot sphere. So that also means that Corvus, you might have been feeling a little tense, my dude. But all of a sudden you're like, nah, we're good. We're feeling fine. Everything's okay.
Yeah, Eden will kind of like stand there calmly.
You can fight against it if you want.
Oh no, I think Eden is more than willing to not be terrified. I do think
I love the fact that it went from you're scared of werewolves to it feels like you're floating in a pool and Eden's fucking terrified of water. Like, just in my head, I'm just like, really? That's
not a pool. I forgot about that. But
yeah,
basically that almost makes it more like on point, because then it means like basically you're not afraid of the water. Like you conquered the water and you're just floating. So that's actually better. Yes, we're going with the floating on the pool. So yes.
Eden is gonna stand there like calmly, look down at the stairs, realize how icy they are, realize how not dexterous she herself is, and then is gonna look and I am now taking my flying snake form. So there is this weird white and burgundy snaky body with moth wings and fuzzy pink antenna that is now just kind of fluttering, and then will like politely rest on Corvus's shoulder.
I'll pick up Art's leash.
Yeah.
If Corvus did do the fight against my calm emotions, then the 18 saves, so you do not feel whatever you're feeling before, it doesn't take hold of you.
Despite that, I would say that Fanara would be aware that it did not work. However, Corvus acts calm. Like, he didn't try to resist it. He accidentally was like, broke through and was like, I'm gonna try to be calm because she tried her best.
All right.
Yeah, now I'm just gonna occasionally flutter around.
I feel like I know I'll probably be able to make it down the steps pretty okay. I'm gonna kind of have as one of my invocations I did what is it, like ascendant step, so I have levitate, so if I see anybody who looks like they're about to fall, I'm just gonna be kind of ready to hopefully help them not immediately fucking die.
Perfect.
I realize in retrospect I could have taken the giant eagle form and made this much better. But being
Could have just flown.
But just being a selfish little snake is better. So Eden is now fluttering around going,
all right. I need everybody to make either acrobatics or athletics checks, with the exception of Eden. Are you having Art go down on his own, or are you carrying him, Oak?
So confirming, it's downward.
I have a +6 to athletics. I'll carry him.
Okay.
But where we're going is...
Okay, hang on. So let me clarify.
Okay.
If you carry him, it will be at disadvantage because you're going to have to worry about holding him on this pretty narrow staircase while also keeping your balance.
That's true.
How far down is it?
Do we think,
about 400 or 500 feet.
How does, gosh,
but you're also going, but you're also going down and around, so you're not quite going, like, it's going to be longer. Yeah. Art's pretty dexterous.
Okay, I think I'll let Art do it himself. Like, unless he asks me, I probably would.
Cool. I'll pull up his.
But I might tie his leash off to me.
You could do that. You could totally do that. Yeah.
I think his weight should barely register.
400 feet. I might actually have to take the stairs.
Which one did you say that we could use? So just by chance.
Athletics.
Or acrobatics.
Or
actually that.
Yeah, or you know what? I will say or acrobatics, because I guess it isn't quite about how. You could do it either way, right? You could either.
I thought that's what you had said.
Still not good, but we're gonna just go ahead. Mm-hmm.
Wait,
continue.
Hang on.
Well, we at least did a D4.
Well, that's great because
Oh,
some people get a whole new D20.
what?
Oh, thank God.
That's a 26 for Corvus.
A 26 for Corvus. Okay.
Oh, Oculus, thank you. Bless.
Synthetic 20.
Synthetic 20. Okay. Fanara, what was your total?
It would have been a 3, but now it is an 18.
An 18. Okay. Eden. Oh wait, Eden's a snake.
16.
And Thynrith got a 16. Okay. As you guys are going, making your way down,
Down.
down and down
Down.
and down, following this, you get about halfway before you hear a whoa, and Art's foot. He loses his balance and he falls down that stair, hits the stair, like the next stair over, and then just slides off the staircase.
But it did tie its harness to me.
I need you to make a strength saving throw, please. Oak.
Yes. Yes.
I'm just gonna
I
hold.
shall.
And you have levitation.
And I have this
Yes,
the
I had the ready for-
protection ward does work for saves as well.
Oh.
It
Or
has
does
to
it?
be the person because Art is not a part of that protective bond, and it's only.
But I'm
one.
making
It
the
would
save,
be
right?
yeah. If you're making the save, it would count toward you.
but also levitate.
Well, we
Okay.
don't know. Wait, did
And a strength
Thynrith
save,
say
that's
they're gonna do it?
26.
A 26. Yeah, you manage to kind of you end up separating and like putting one foot on one stair and another, and just kind of grabbing the rope as it's swinging, and are able to keep yourself firmly planted while also being able to pull Art back up.
Whoa there, little buddy.
I will say at this point, from above, as Art's yell semi-reverberates throughout this space, you hear followed by an echo of like 3 or 4 from above.
Oh shit! All right, and I'm gonna cast levitate on Art. Please, don't slip again. And I'm just gonna keep. So now he's just gonna kind of be like levitating right behind you, just still attached
Yeah,
to
you
the
just-
rope.
Just like a balloon. It's art.
Yeah,
balloon.
actually, yeah, that's kind of convenient because
Shrek.
he's just levitating from the stair that was nearest to him, so you can just kind of bop him forward or like pull him on the leash as you're going down. But as you guys are moving downward or continuing to move downward, I need one more round of athletics or acrobatics checks, please.
Yeah, Eden is now hissing around Art, clearly like griping at Art a little bit.
Corvus, you mean? Or
No, it's
you
at
flying?
Art
Oh,
for,
you're flying.
yeah. Yeah, I'm flying around Art now. Like,
So are we like 200 feet away from the ground now?
give or take, yeah, like 250. Because
17.
you gotta factor in that it's almost hypotenuse like, so it'll be longer than going straight down because you're curving around the wall. 17 for Thynrith.
21.
21. Corvus.
— 19.
Oh, all I saw was the 3, and I got really scared for you. And Fanara,
11.
11. You're continuing down, your pace picking up ever so slightly. All of you making good headway until Fanara, you go to plant your foot on the next stair, and the stair completely shatters underneath you.
Eden is going to fly over and wrap themselves around Finn's arm. So at the very least, all I can say is while Finn is falling, there is a little Eden.
Oh, does
what's-
Fenora fall?
Fanara does fall.
Okay, how far are we from the ground at this point?
You guys are maybe about 100 feet up.
I'll
Oh,
take it.
Can I
Corvus
try
jumps.
and grab? What?
No, that's Finn. Like
So-
Eden is like
so-
slapping on Fanara's wrist.
As
Like,
so you
what
watch
kind of
as
wa-
like Fanara falls, and Eden begins to coil around, is like flapping wildly. Corvus, you the second you hear or you see or hear the shattering and like hear Fanara start to fall, what are you doing? You're jumping after her?
My goal would be to try to catch her, but I'm not the most athletic to get my grip, but I'm acrobatic to be fast enough. All I have to do is get a hold of her, even if we're falling.
Okay. So what I'm gonna say is, for this, give me a dexterity, just a general dexterity check. And Fanara, Fanara, you don't have to do anything.
Okay.
Right,
And that's a
general-
+4 to that.
Dex.
I don't know what walking order we're in, but if I was next to Finara, I would try and catch her as well. But yeah, I don't know.
But no, you're paying attention to Art though. You're pushing little Art.
That's true.
Assuming I can't add my proficiency, it's a 15. If I can add proficiency, it's an 18.
I'd say for right now, no, because you're not proficient in diving off of ledges.
Actually,
You're not.
if I may argue, I have jumped off several buildings in our campaign so far, from the tower with the sirens to Deep Well. Jumping off ledges, unfortunately, is a tried and true trope of Corvus.
So you
It's worth a
could,
shot.
to answer your question, you could. But I'd say that's as you see Corvus start to jump after Fanara.
Me? I could try and grab someone?
No.
Oh,
There's
okay.
somebody who has to do something, but
I see.
so you dive, you manage your okay, how traumatizing or how untraumatizing do I want to be right now? Because my head immediately went to like Amazing Spider-Man 2, and yeah, but
You're not Gwen Stacy Finara.
no, you're not. No,
Astral Arm.
you're diving. I'd say you're diving, and like as you're falling, the two of you are just like fingertips out of reach.
I can move faster if I need to. Do I feel like that's the problem? Like, she's falling faster than me?
Well, no, because mathematically speaking, everybody falls at the same rate.
Okay,
But I can fall faster is why.
As
can
Eden,
you really fall faster? Is that a thing you can do?
Well, because I can get a flying speed, which means
Oh,
I can
true.
then use
Yeah, you could
momentum
fall
to
speed.
actually, if I need
Oh
to.
shit! Hang on, Eden, roll just a straight d20.
Just to see if she can get that leverage into my fingers.
Just to see how much.
that
much
is a 19
flappy
of
cat
Flappy.
All right, I'm gonna roll.
19 Flappies.
I'm gonna roll this Umbral Oculus die. If this Umbral
Your mother
Oculus
needs you.
die,
I
if
brought
this
you
Umbral
into this
Oculus
world.
die- this Umbral Oculus die is a 19 or a 20. You don't succeed.
That's so rude. I made that dice. Don't you dare. In fact, Will Wheaton, dear. Will Wheaton.
Oh my god. It was an 18. So just as you're just a fingertip away, and at the last second, and this is from the hand that doesn't have Eden attached to it. So next thing you know, you just see the other hand just shoot up as this tiny coiled snake is just flapping its hardest, and the two of you join hands.
How far are they from me, like from the ground right now? Like, how far would you say they're from us, actually?
About halfway down at this point, so about 50 feet.
Okay, I want to use levitate. As soon as I see their hands, I just want to drop it from Art and use it on.
All right.
I'll use it with Art because.
Okay. As you toss it onto Fanara, I need two things. I need Corvus. I need Fanara to make a strength saving throw. And I need
Lord.
Oak to make a strength saving throw. Because Fanara is holding on to... Oh shit, does he? Oh my god, Eddie, thanks. I love that Eddie's texting me what Art would do right now. So Art technically he's like excuse me, Logan. Art technically has featherfall. So I'll say instead of you doing the other one, instead of you undoing the levitate from him, he'll cast featherfall on Finara, which will slow her fall. You're a monk, so you get slow fall anyway, and you're good. And you can just slowly fall the remaining 50 feet to the ground.
I would like to point out that as Finara starts to feather fall, Eden is perfectly content in thinking that it is entirely her flapping that is saving Finara's life in this moment. And in her head is just she saved my life twice and I'm gonna finally save hers, and so Eden is just constantly flapping the whole way down until we hit the ground, and then Eden will be completely just panting in a little snake pile of
as Corvus is just bridal carry style lands and is
let's never do that again. Wait, we kind of have to. Oh no.
We made it down.
Yeah, Eden is kaput on the ground now, laying there, with the tongue,
Eden,
no.
roll a Constitution saving throw. For Eden, not for your snake.
Oh, that's a natural 20. Plus, I'm not.
We still have to climb back up, though, right? So
that's 22.
22. Cool. You don't suffer a point of exhaustion.
From my own stupidity.
From your listen, you overexerted your snake form, my dude. Now,
how high do we have to go from here?
Oh no, you guys are down. You guys are on the ground. You guys were only 100 feet in the air.
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
Yeah. So we don't have to go up. We're supposed to go all the way to the ground
level. You're supposed to go all the way to the ground. Yeah.
Okay.
So you get to this base level.
Thank you.
Across this crevasse. You see what looks to be it's just another sheer cliff face all the way down, except instead of there being any sort of staircase or anything, it's just a thin layer of ice that covers the rock. Thynrith, you take them straight across, knowing exactly where to go, and as you approach, you can see within the cliff face, but behind the ice, this dark alcove that you can clearly see looks like a tunnel. Thynrith, you place your hand on the ice, and as you do, the section right there begins to melt where your hand is until it reaches up to the top edge of this arch. And the path is open to you.
Alright, it's not much further this way. Please don't be loud or do anything stupid.
When Oak gets to the bottom, I just want to say Oak's going straight to Finara and being like, "Are you okay?" It's like the I want to touch you, but are you hurt?
I saw my life flash before my eyes, and that was definitely something that I don't want to experience again anytime soon. Yeah. Still shaking up. Yeah. But thank you.
You're not hurt anywhere?
Mm-mm. Nope.
Okay, good. And then she'll crush you in a hug.
She will accept gladly all the muscle sauce.
Mm-hmm.
And then also we'll bring in Eden's serpent body and Corvus. Try to reach out for Corvus.
Oh, we're fluttering her. At this point, we're flapping, getting around.
I don't know. Do Oak and Corvus have a moment of
you get Corvus. It's the anime cutaway where the two are just glaring at each other and the electric is going back and forth.
Very distinctly, Corvus is playing this cool in that specific looking where we need to go. Very much we must continue on.
Yes.
All right.
There will be a little hiss in Theinrith's ear.
Oh,
There's just Eden, like, is perched.
do you have to be there?
I ask the same thing sometimes.
Oh goodness. Is this normal? Is this
Oh,
average?
she's very
just-
up close and personal. But
Yeah.
you could just throw her at one of us if you don't want her. She's very harsh.
Will she not be upset if I am to throw her?
Okay, so here's the thing.
Why?
Like, it would be a little. I can, but okay, but you're like the leader person, and like people are less likely to attack you. So I figured I'm probably safer on your shoulder than one of theirs. Eden is just like looking.
I mean,
There's a little snake. Just
this is fair. Just try to be as still as possible, please.
okay, and then like literally just like becomes like a just this like
Your group is quite unusual, and she'll just keep walking.
just a
Oh, that's
stick.
for sure.
The tunnel goes inward for about 10 or about 30 feet before it starts just to kind of wind. And as you look, you can clearly see that this was carved not by hand, but likely by magical means. As it just begins to slowly kind of snake in on itself, and you guys are ever so faintly beginning to ascend, continuing and continuing. You travel in the dark for what seems like hours. Not
mean,
quite
it's-
sure what direction. What?
I was gonna say if it's ours, at some point Eden poofs back.
Yeah.
Sad.
As these almost like very short length tunnels just kind of wind back and forth as they're steadily going up. At one point, you notice that the walls itself of the cavern or of this passage go from being stone to like a little bit more like more porous rock to eventually just ice. And the temperature, as you continue to rise, goes from being this kind of unbearable cold that it was outside to now to the point of freezing, where even like your fingers and your toes, you find your fingers and like your cheeks and your lips, you find yourself pulling you scarves and like shoving your hands into your armpits as you're making this climb. Theinrith, this has little or no effect on you. You lead them further and further up until you get to a set of iced double doors. You slowly push them open. And the passageway that you can see isn't one of rock and stone, but pure ice. Portraits. It's still very like decorated. You can see furniture up against the walls. You can see paintings hanging from the walls as well. Carpets and tapestries over this icy surfaced ground. You quickly look left and right. No guards before darting across the hall. To the rest of you follow.
Yep.
The next room that you enter, as you dart across the hall and immediately hook it to the left and open another door and slip in, looks almost like a waiting chamber. It's got nicely decorated, nice decorated table with a set of teacups on it. You can see sets of chairs ringed around the table, and the far wall. You can see the ice there is so thin that you can look through it. Beyond, you can see a larger chamber, a balcony, and then a balcony that wraps around the room to a set of stairs that descend downward. And as you look in all about the chamber, you can see hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of these ice-like chandeliers that are hanging from the ceiling. The shards of the chandeliers, each different size, different texture, different shape. No two are exactly alike. Feinrith, you would know this is where they keep the shards.
Well, you were looking for some sort of shard and everything, right? You were looking for answers to that.
I mean, we don't want more of them, but how to wake someone who's been pierced by one?
Well, all right. I mean, this is where we keep them. I know it won't be much benefit to you. What else am I supposed to be?
I thought we were looking for like hers would like her soul was taken into a shard. Was that
That was not my understanding, but
okay?
She
It's been a
I
long
was
can't
time.
remember.
she was stabbed with a piece of ice,
Mm-hmm.
or
Yeah.
impaled with a piece of ice. What happened? What you know or what you remember is that her essence was like her spirit almost was taken from her, right?
Okay.
There wasn't like a definite, you still hadn't gotten a definite answer of like a what or how, just some sort of magic was able to take. And that's why she was in that ice-like coma.
And they got the shard out, right? Like that shard that we presented to Minfabel was the one that pierced her, right?
Correct.
Yeah, okay.
Can I ask a question, Henry?
Of course.
You mentioned that we keep them here. What exactly did you mean by that?
We, as in the Unseelie Court.
So you're a part of the court?
Well, I'm merely an assistant, but they prefer it if we speak in those sort of terms. No, we.
So that means that if you say that we keep them here and you're familiar, like what exactly makes these particular things and how can you is there a way to reverse that or I mean you seem to have an understanding at least of how they're kept.
Exactly. So what would happen? Like, are these made from stabbing people, or are they made to stab people?
Or if you stand underneath them too long, Bernard looks up, you get the maybe stay up yourself from standing under it too long.
I wouldn't say they're necessarily for stabbing or that you could end up stabbed if you stand underneath one. Honestly, I'm not entirely sure how one ended up in near your sister. Where are you from?
Well, I'm from the Isles of Lilithal, which is really strange. My sister was attacked by Xanthira warriors. At least I'm pretty sure. Her whole squad was. Well, we didn't get any answers from them on exactly what happened.
Did the Zentano come through here? Maybe taking some of the things from up there with them?
Yeah, what are the chances that somebody could come by one of these shards without permission from someone of the court?
Logan, what would I know about that?
So when Oak says the Isles of Lilithal, that means nothing to you. You've heard it in passing a couple of times, but you've never been there. You don't know anybody who has. Nor do you know how somebody's essence or spirit gets within one of these. You've never seen that process. You just know that it's just happened, right? You do know the only way to cure it. Or you do know the only way to release. Well, you do know a way to release the essence within it. And oh my gosh, I just looped around the whole question. I would say thank you, ADHD. You would imagine that this is kept for those working directly for or under one of the archfey of the Winter Court. They just don't go walking around like, hey, here's a chunk of ice. If you stab somebody, it does. You know what I mean? Yeah, they just don't wantonly hand those out.
And what about the soldiers they were talking about? The Zenthir?
Again, they don't mean anything to you.
I'd be happy to elaborate if you ask.
Do you know how to, undo the thing then? To get them out of the shard, if we're in a shard or whatever?
I know of a way. I don't know if I'm at liberty to have the strength to do it, but as far as how it could have gotten there, I don't know. These are not left for people to just have access to, as you can see. They're hidden pretty well, and they don't exactly just hand these out. Only very few members of the court have them, so I'm not sure how one ended up.
Do you know which particular members?
They happen to be archfays, and doesn't matter of their alignment.
Logan, I cannot remember. Did we leave the ice shard with people in Minthable, or did we take it with us?
I believe you left it.
I believe we did too. Okay.
Yeah, I believe you gave. I believe you gave her the box, and then she was like, "All right, cool. I know what this is." And then you're like, "Okay, cool." And then you guys left to go sleep for the night before you went back.
If I mean, I don't think I understood at that point that my sister's essence could be in the shard.
No, there was no
if
way
I had,
to
I
know
would have
that.
taken it for sure.
So-
but
On a meta level, it's okay. It's I will don't overthink it.
okay.
You're okay.
Oh,
Because I mean, if I had it, I'd be like, well, it doesn't matter if you can't tell me. Can you just do it? But...
No,
I will change my plan.
Okay.
Corvus was just about to use the scroll to tell it.
I had something much dumber.
I have the
dumber.
scroll. Eden has it in hand, not Corvus. Not sharing. No, thank
I
you.
can't use it.
Yes, I can. It's on my spell
I said
list.
I can't use it.
Oh, I was like, yes, I can. Didn't say where I was taking us.
So you have seen these things have an essence in them and have seen them be released?
Yes, I have.
How can you find out if you can tell us, or could you do it for us without telling us how you do it?
I do not have the strength to. That would have to be the queen.
The queen herself?
Is it the queen herself, Logan? Right, it is.
Yeah.
Yes, and I will say she's very difficult to get an audience with.
What if I had very valuable information that she would want?
It would have to be very...
Like realm shaking?
What do you mean by that?
Eden will turn to Oak. This matters more to you than anything else, right?
It does, but this is my burden to bear. You don't have to.
Do you think it would be a smart move on my part?
don't know.
Is it something that will end up harming you? Because we don't
Probably.
want that. No. There has to be some other way.
Out of curiosity, Dungeon Master, does Corvus have any idea of anything that he possesses or that he can offer that may be valuable to these folks?
Hang on, can we talk about this real quick?
Mhm.
Corvus. Offer Platinum Dragon. Corvus, not even like 3 hours ago, offered Tiamat.
Yeah, no.
Now you want. Now you're like, hey, do I have more in me I could just give?
Have you ever heard of taking a loan to pay a debt? It's a cycle that eventually collapses everything. So
I got jokes that I'll keep to myself.
I mean, like Oak doesn't have realm-shattering secrets probably, but
I mean, my secrets aren't realm shattering; they're just inconvenient.
I don't think so. No, not anything that like an archfey would think is like juicy. No.
That's what I thought.
I don't think
I
Eden
might have
does
something-
either.
huh?
I said Eden probably doesn't either.
I have like a long shot. Do I feel like my mother's might have an idea?
Remind me, one was a drow, one was a half orc.
One is a drow, one's a half orc, and one is a my third mom is wood elf.
Wood elf. Potentially. Oh my gosh, this has been so long since I've hung out with your moms.
I mean, I message them every day, but I haven't used today's
Such a
yet.
good
So,
boy.
you're like, yeah, I love my mother's.
So he's used to a polyamorous relationship.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He was raised by
all
three
brand.
mothers.
I love how you're just justifying
It's on
it. You're just like, he
brand.
knows.
Steinritz,
Yes.
what do you know of Liren? I need people to quit dancing around stories and hiding truths. I want somebody. You seem kind of like Corvus and a little blunt. I just want somebody to tell me what they know and stop alluding to things or skipping whole truths or fulfilling stupid neutrality pacts. For the love of God, I want one person to tell me their truth of it. As I say this in Sylvan.
Does Fanara get any bit of that? Because she's been learning Sylvan.
You're like, you get the first bit, like, what do you know about Liren? Like, tell me the truth. Beat around the bush,
Okay.
like, don't, like that kind of stuff. Like, that's the vibe you get.
Okay.
I can't say I think I know as much as you would like, but I do know that Liren is, or at least from what Hale told me, Liren is the one who was having an influence over that plant at our school and choked me out. So, from what I've experienced, not the best entity, or but. Why do you ask of Liren?
Out of curiosity, but do you know anybody that has more information? Because I might be willing to trade in information.
You have very curious propositions. First, can I? If you're, why do you care so much about this Liren? Who is this? You.
This was someone that I'm trying to come to understand. And if this means in helping Oak achieve her goals, and it was somebody that I thought I trusted, but I'm wondering so much if I do now. I do not wish to be used. I think my ideals still stay strong, but ultimately I fear that I might be a pawn in some sort of game, and frankly, I want to know that I'm in a place to where I'm not going to be beheaded over things. If you catch my understanding. I mean, your court, right? You understand? I mean, it would be the same for you, Finn, no? Or Corvus, or Oak. To skate that line, people do not react kindly, correct?
I suppose not.
Hey, this is a really random question. But I was looking back through my notes. Do you know what Winter's Night means?
That is a good question. I also want to know what Winter's Night mean. Thank you for reminding me of the one fucking note that I have written right behind my character stat, so I will remember to ask it.
Theinrith, make a history check for me.
Literally.
And I also asked this in Sylvan, by the way. This may be unexpected given that I am a hacker, but
History check, that's a 12.
12. You've heard your patron talk about it, like mention it, but he hasn't said more than like the end to the Winter Court.
How about this? What if Fanar, because she heard that, she uses a different term, duath anonon, instead?
Go ahead and make it.
Or she says it, or this.
I love that you have the Sylvan for it too. Make another history check.
Also confirming that was what the Hagraven lady person called Eden.
That's a 17.
Or was it in reference to?
it was whatever that hag we fought was. I don't remember her name being Eden. Is that a thing?
No.
Well, I have notes that says last words from Maven.
It was from Maven.
From the Dusk Maven, yep.
Yeah.
Dusk Maven
that was
said...
a long time ago.
Yeah, it was my first arc.
Let's go! Someone also took notes!
No, but Dusk...
That's a deep dive.
My problem is I don't remember who Dusk Maven referred to as the Winter's Night, or if it was just the Winter's Night.
That was like her last dying breath. She just said Winter's Night.
Last words. Yeah.
Okay.
18.
18?
17.
17. Hearing those words, you've heard the loose translation of the words, but hearing it fully in Sylvan, because there is like a slight translation, you know what I mean? Like there's that.
I did say it in Sylvan, but
that is true.
I was saying, don't ruin what I was trying to do.
I know, but
no.
Say that it was like a Sylvan-ish, like Spanglish.
Well, so like it's kind of like it's almost like Spanglish, right? Where like the meaning of the original word means like in English, right? Winter's Night, but in but when you go to reverse translate it, it doesn't come out like with quite the same meaning. I don't know if that makes sense. The fuck, Lamar?
Oh my god.
Hi. I love you. You're amazing. Thank you. She's the Lamar the con guy, guys. He's amazing. Goes to cons.
He's the myth, the legend.
He is a mythical creature.
The comedic genius.
I see him all over. I see him going to all these things, and I'm like, I just want to meet him.
It was nice, very briefly
meeting
voice of an
angel. Yeah.
So, Theinrith, you would know when you hear that. The Frost Prince has mentioned it as, like I said, the end of the Winter Court, where he's not quite sure what would happen, but something would happen to his mother. And when that happens, a power vacuum will take over that will essentially coat the entire Winter Court in eternal night and like perpetual like deep Arctic blizzard style like winter Armageddon.
So, I only had mention of this winter's night, but I know whatever it actually is, it basically would mean the end of our court here, and would just stick us in this state of an eternal freeze and with no end in sight. That's all really I know.
So lots of people would suffer then.
Yes.
So you're not in the idea of maybe, I don't know, like courts and division and labels are really stupid and maybe they don't need to be there?
What do you mean?
I was just curious of your general position and satisfaction with the general ruling classes that be.
Yeah. Why do you keep asking that?
Well, I've just met a lot of people disenfranchised from different courts or stuck outside of the courts, and I'm trying to understand those that have strong alignments and what keeps them aligned.
I have my loyalties because my patron has earned them. He has earned my loyalty and my honesty and my respect. Do you not have that?
I thought I did. Until I picked up on notes of deception.
Well, luckily you can. Depending on your patron, I mean, there are always options, depending on the strength and dominion of your patron, I suppose.
How badly do we want to see face to face with the Queen or someone else?
Well, on that note, before the questions, I can tell you, as far as finding your sister, you were concerned because you didn't have the shard with you, correct?
That is true.
Well, as far as that goes, her spirit will actually be in a shard here, which is why I brought you here. I did say I don't necessarily have the power to do anything about it, but if we can at least find her, because you actually know what she, you would actually have some sort of inclination towards that. Then we
And
can,
Oak is looking around frantically like she's here with.
the shards, and I'll gesture towards them.
Do
We
I
need
just,
to put that spirit in one of those.
how do I just like touch them and feel if she's there? Like,
That is a very good question. I've not searched.
Go ahead. Go ahead. You can. No, I would love for you to answer this question.
Nope. Nope.
I've not had to search for a very specific spirit before, like in your case. So, I guess this will be a test of your intuition and faith and everything.
okay. Can I reach?
Make a
Okay. Yeah.
make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay, it's not my worst stat.
Don't know if this will help. Can I assist?
Do we still have the protective bond? How long does that last?
It's only 10 minutes, so it
Oh,
might
okay,
have
yeah, no.
Oh
gone
yeah,
away.
that's been gone for a hot minute.
Yeah, it's gone. Yeah.
I'd say you
Okay,
could
that's a good
assist.
roll.
I would say you could assist to give Oak advantage. Yeah, sure.
I am going to, like, as Oak's kind of trying to figure out what to do, Corvus will take his unarmored hand, place it on Oak's shoulder, and will essentially try to channel some of his ki into Oak to help the ability to focus and attune to, like, the spirit of the environment. I've been attuning to the Feywild for as long as I can to
Go for
help make this possible.
Okay. Wisdom save?
Yes, please.
It's a 22.
22. You begin to reach out. The first thing you notice as you almost instinctively reach up and try to touch one of the closer shards, and you see a glimpse of a man on a highway road, sleeping. Small fire next to him, just embers. Before what looks to be a small fairy just kind of creeps into into his camp and stabs him in the chest, and your mind begins to expand beyond that.
Was that Johnny?
It was not Johnny. You see, I mean, if you want to see Johnny, I could show you Johnny. You see a young half-elf in a very, very busy tavern dancing with what looks to be one of the maidens of the Spring Court. She grabs his hand and leads him into the other room. And in their drunken stupor, he or she turns from the golden hair into an ice nymph and stabs him in the chest. You continue reaching out. Dozens, hundreds of individuals. Above you, you don't feel it. There's a slight ping, as like it's almost as if your heart itself is stringing and trying to connect to each one. And then you feel this pull, and your hand instinctively kind of moves to the right, toward the staircase. Good. Thank you. And you see, standing on the staircase, this slender, male-like individual, coated in ice, just completely from head to toe. The boots chiseled and carved in the likeness of plate-like armor, going up to the chest and going up to the chest, where you see these kind of this black cloth coming down by where the pants like would come over and like touch the top of the boots. The slate gray, like steel, almost like frost-like chitinous armor, a belt of ice, more black and like gray linen underneath, bracers of the same kind of like dark steel like ice with these crystalline icicles sticking from them, pauldrons as well. And as you get to the face, you see this almost frostbitten face where the lips are completely dried and cracked and caked and almost just lay flat to the face of this elven individual. The eyes you can see almost sunken in pure white. And on their forehead you can see a crown of icicles that look as if they've been stuck there for ages, just from all the way back to these large, pointed elven-like ears. A mane of long white hair descending from the top of the head behind the crown over the shoulders and down to like right above the butt. In his one hand, a shard. In the other hand, you see a wand that looks almost like a long dart. Mother will be most pleased with my accomplishments here. Feinrith, you've done well. And that's where we're going to end tonight's session.
Feinrith, why? I should have punched you in that cave.
I knew you were bad news.
Why? I'm a cool
Who?
little artist baby. I'm a cool
Who
little
names
artist
their
baby.
good kid Thynrith anyway?
And as a final act, because I just saw this, Thynrith, do you want to tell me what you do?
Yeah, as soon as he says that, I will face step over to him immediately and just be standing right by him. That is.
I should have punched you.
Okay.
I held
I'm
back
telling
being
hail
like,
on you.
All right. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yay!
This was a real late one, so I appreciate my players for sticking with it. We're just going straight to going offline because I want to get my friends to get food in their bellies and go to sleep if they need to, get snackies, all the good stuff. But until next time, my friends, stay safe and remember, adventure awaits. Bye, y'all.